Alrighty, Lumberjacks, welcome back, and we are in Farming Simulator 22. Can you believe it? I can almost believe it. So a whole bunch of people asked me to do kind of a initial first look, how I feel about the game before we start getting into all of our modding goodness. And yeah, I mean, impression-wise, it's very similar to 2019. I'm not gonna pretend it's a brand new game because it really isn't. Some of the new maps are quite pretty. I've had a chance to kind of just bomb through them a little bit here. This one's actually probably one of my favorites. Just kind of a nice environment, good distance. Unfortunately, after investigation, I realized that these trees up here are obviously just background 2D fodder. They're not actually loggable. You can't drive up there and log those trees, which I initially kind of predicted that because I knew all of those trees would probably cause frame rate drop and all that fun stuff. So as disappointing as that is, that doesn't mean we're not going to create a map that doesn't have that many trees as we move forward in the modding world. So first kind of initial look at things, and again, I just kind of started the game, so I'm sure there's lots of things I haven't really explored yet, but I just wanted to kind of show you what I've noticed and comparably different things between FS19 and FS22. So first of all, you got yourself a new HUD, new heads-up display. I have mine shrunken really small because I hate to have a giant HUD. New menu system. There's tons of little different layouts here. One thing I still don't like, but it's here, is the land buying. I know some people like this, but I don't. You know, where you hit X and you can choose different areas to buy. I personally don't really care about this. Like, I don't like the fact that you have to buy different lots. Maybe for farming, I guess it makes sense. As a forestry guy, obviously that's kind of pointless for me. So when my maps do get made, I'm going to make it so you can just buy one whole area again. I hate walking up to like a tree and saying you don't have access to this land to be able to cut down a tree. You have to buy the little square. I get permission rights and all that fun stuff. But anyway, that's one feature I was kind of hoping would go away. But it's still here, so that's all good. Yeah, they have, like I said, there's all kinds of different crop calendar stuff. I don't know. I never really used this when I was logging. I am pretty excited for seasons. I think having snow and all that fun stuff coming in, being able to plow out areas, I think that's going to be really fun. I also have the Mulcher, which we're going to take a look at here. Again, more fun stuff about your vehicles, finances, yada, 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 animals, which we do not have. Contracts. I'm not sure if this is new because I never really did the contracting on the old one. But I like this kind of idea, which is kind of cool, where you can actually pick contracts. I'm pretty sure they got that idea, if this is new, which I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure they got this idea from all the role players making contracts of our own while we were playing games, and then they just have it. I wish they had just be able to accept logging contracts. That'd be pretty cool, but asking too much. Production chains I have not looked at. I have not got into, so I have no idea what's going on there. I'm pretty excited about something new. Stats for your game. Okay, so here, this is always the fun stuff. This is where I like to go over some of this stuff as well. So auto save, that's always a good classic one. Time scale, let's actually turn that down to normal time because that's what we like. Economic difficulty, that's I think that's a new one. Traffic, seasonal growth is where you can actually do your season settings. Crop stuff, well, you'll have to ask a farmer about that stuff because I don't know. Vehicle dirt, stop and go. Actually, I turn stop and go on. AI workers, yeah, there's a couple new settings, but I mean that's very similar to what was in the last game. So we're gonna go down. So here, help menu. So this is just like your help options, colorblind mode, blah 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 blah, simple stuff. Reset your vehicle camera. Dynamic vehicle camera is something a lot of people had questions about in the last game. If you turn this on, it makes it so that when you're bouncing around the cab, your eyeballs stay level with the horizon. So if you turn this off, if the machine lifts up, your view goes up with the machine, if that makes sense. Input controls. So easy arm controls. So that's the first thing that I had to play with when I started the game. When I set my controls on my machine, I had to turn off easy arm control because it tries to control the boom and the telescope and all that stuff at the same time, which I'm not a big fan of. So if you're having issues with the machines acting a little funny when you're playing, turn easy arm controls off. That's a good one to kill. The rest of the stuff's all pretty straightforward. Fun times. Okay, to the controls, my most feared part of the game all the time when we start. So, the controls have been broken down a little bit better. Not like crazy better, but a little bit better. So, they've actually kind of put titled areas where you can kind of split it. Instead of just a big monster list, they have, you know, player movement, other vehicle driving, player interactive, that kind of stuff. So, if you're a joystick user, gamepad user, you still have to go down here, click gamepad to switch over to it. Now, the first thing I had to do was clear all the key bindings. So, my game automatically, and I haven't reset it yet, so I hope it doesn't auto-rebind them all because I'll cry. I wish they had a clear all button. That's one thing that I really wish they had, to just clear them all. But instead, you actually have to click on each control and then hit backspace to clear them all. Mine, every single one of these got auto-filled with something. So I had to go through and I had to hit backspace on every single one of these, which was a pain in the butt. But it cleared them all so that my machines weren't doing funky stuff. And then I just went and really quickly set the base controls for your crane rotation and all that, so that it's similar to what we had in the other game. Because I wanted to test the Ponzi, which we're going to do here. And I have not touched the Ponzi yet, so this will be our first time using it in this game. You guys get to experience it with me, bad or good. So yeah, I cleared all my controls and I just set, like I said, the basic ones. And as we go forward in modding land, I have not yet decided if we're going to add our own FDR controls like we did in the last game, or if we're going to try to work it in to these ones. I probably should work it into these ones, but I haven't decided yet. That's something to come down the road. We're not there yet. Not there yet. Okay, so, and then the last one is just how to play the game, help, yada, yada, yada. Forestry, there you go. Learn how to be a forestry person. Very in-depth. Learn how to control your machines. Okay, so that's the menu. I just wanted to show that real quick. So it's nicer laid out. I noticed there's actually animations on this thing, which is kind of cool. There's like a train that does like a circuit or something. I don't know where it is. Somewhere. Anyway, it's kind of nice to have a little animated menu. Yeah, I mean, similar setup. Like I said, you got the area selection, very similar to the last game, so it's not like a total new learning curve for getting things set up, or at least it shouldn't be for most people. Okay, so now down to the nitty-gritty. I mean, you guys can go watch 100 million videos about the farming side of it. I'm not a farmer, I'm a logger, and the logging side's all I care about. So we're going to go over the logging side today and just look at a few things, and a few things I've noticed, and a few things that may have changed, that may not have changed. So one thing that did change, well, maybe we can test it on this tree. If it's within our boundaries, maybe it isn't. No, it is. So, again, these crooked trees, well, hey, let's go over that first. Let's do a physics test for you guys. So physics-wise, I'm going to switch. I got the developer tools on here so I can see what's going on in the background of the world. So when I turn this on, I'm able to see the physics that are running underneath the game to show what's happening, Captain. So, looking at this tree, it actually doesn't have terrible collisions on it. So basically, there's a visual layer. This is the visual layer where you actually see the tree and what we're looking at while we're playing the game. Underneath this is the collision layer, or the physics layer. So if I turn this on, you can see this big orange, kind of nasty-looking polygon-y, squarey thing, or cylinder thing, right? So this is the actual physics that interact with your grapples. Now, one thing that's kind of annoying me that I wish they would have fixed, and I still don't know why they haven't fixed. So, as you can see, this is pretty lined up here for the most part. The orange matches what you actually see. But on the bottom, you see how there's like, from the visual, there's actually that gap. So now when you go to grab that with a grapple, your tongs are going to be kind of off the tree a bit. Like, it'll look like it's floating in the grapple. And I was really hoping they'd fix that. But maybe it's just something they can't fix with the system that they have, or the physics system. It's clearly the exact same physics system that we used in 2019. So nothing's been changed there. And I didn't think it would be. I knew that was coming. So no big deal. It's all good. New addition would be the trees have falling sound. So let's cut this. And so, I mean, not terrible. Not super great, but not super terrible. it's kind of a neat addition just to kind of add a little bit extra layer of stuff going on there. The branch removal I noticed with the saw is kind of terrible. There's also a sound issue with the saw. So when I start cutting, it sounds like the saw is getting like a double sound effect. So listen. You see how it like, it sounds weird, right? It like revs up ahead of time. Oh, and that time it just cut out entirely. So there's a little bit of a sound effects issue going on there. But that's okay. You know what? We're not going to judge because, you know, we don't want to be judge fudge here. So, this tree, is this... Oh, I don't have access to the land. See, this is why I don't like this. We're probably right on the border. So if I get here... Oh, can't do it. Can't do it. But I can do it over here. Oh, my God. Anyway, so let's go over here. I noticed the limb removal. Let's look at our map. Oops, autosave's still on. That's all good. So we own this area. So we need to go this way. Okay, so let's go cut down one of these trees before we play around. So yeah, the bark textures aren't fantastic on some of these trees. As you can see, there's like a split in the texture, which ain't too impressive. See that big line? And I've got my, I mean, unless there's a graphics setting I'm missing, I've got my graphics cranked to absolute maximum graphics mode. So, I just noticed that, well, obviously, the forestry isn't obviously their main gig, so I get it. There's going to be some details that aren't fantastic. But, you know, still wish they would have maybe tried a little harder on some of that stuff. So this tree doesn't look too bad. But like I said, some of these little ones, like, I was looking at that earlier. I was like, what the hell is going on? You get, like, these weird... Like I said, it's got, like, a split in the texture. It's like the texture didn't wrap properly. Anyway, let's cut this guy down and see what happens here. Oh, that one didn't get a sound effect. It's not cool enough. But I can actually pick that tree up. Apparently, it doesn't weigh anything. You're just a light tree. So I noticed when I'm cutting, I noticed the... sometimes it doesn't... Well, this one's actually not too bad. But sometimes it doesn't pick up the limbs for cutting. Oh, actually, this one's really good. Maybe it's just one of the bigger trees. Let's try this one. Let's just cut down all the trees manually here. Wait till we get a frickin' buncher in here, then we'll see. Oh, hey. Well, that's a good sign. I'm guessing it got pinched up against the collision on that. That's probably what happened. Sure, let's go with that. Great first impression. So let's see here. How's this go? Oh, this one's not bad. Okay, maybe it was just a certain tree. Because one of them I was trying to, like, mow off the limbs, and it was really not happening. Like, it was being a pain in the butt. Can we pick this up? No, we're not that strong. Waiting for that heavy lift mod. So there we go. We got some trees. Again, looking at the physics side, you see, again, how it kind of doesn't really... Well, actually, they didn't do bad. I think they did correct this one a little bit. Because these ones used to have horrid physics. Well, it's still not great, I guess. You see how you kind of got that big... Like, the actual tree's right in here, but there's that big bough of physics that stick out. So it doesn't really follow the tree perfectly. Which means when you go to load a truck... And the reason I'm so nitpicky about this one specific subject is... Because when I go to load a truck... None of these trees are going to settle nicely together. It's just going to be... There's going to be these huge gaps of collision space. And I just... it irks me a little bit as a logger guy. As a logger human. But that's okay. So, looking at the equipment. Equipment is, like I said, we just got the in-game stuff right now. But don't worry, there's stuff coming. It looks good. Still has that shiny sheen to it a little bit there. But not... It doesn't feel like it's got as bad of that bubble wrappy effect that we used to see. It's still a little bit, but like I think they fixed that. Like the tires don't have that shiny kind of effect anymore. The body still has a little bit of the shiny effect. We'll have to wait till it's like nighttime to really see. But I feel like the overall general sheen of it has been turned down a bit because I think there was a lot of complaints. Like I remember showing off some of the in-game equipment before, and you'd stand in the dark section of the machine like this, and it would just be like bubble wrap, shiny, bright. Well, I mean, even in there, it doesn't look super great. See how it's like kind of got that really flashy. But I think they toned it down a bit, to be honest, because it looks a lot better, a lot less shiny. So, yeah, like even the cap and stuff looks a little bit less reflective, which is nice. So, yeah, hopefully when we're modding, we'll be able to utilize some of those features. Again, I'm not like super keen on some of the wearing style, but whatever. I won't get into that. Anyway, so yeah, I noticed in first person I do get some frame rate hits. Like, I don't know if you probably see the counter up in the corner. It's at 60. Again, I have all the graphics cranked to as high as I possibly can have them cranked to, so maybe that could be part of it. I probably have to play with the anti-aliasing or something like that. But in third person, it seems to be fairly good. I don't really get too many bad drops. It's always in first person in this game. I don't know why. It's like that before, too. So I'm going to go to this crane camera. Now, one thing I did notice right off the bat is that when you move the crane, it actually idles up the machine a little bit, which is kind of nice. So if we go to a dead stop, if I start moving the crane, here the machine idles up, and then I'll stop moving, and it starts to idle down. You can see in the gauge in the bottom right, the RPMs crank up when I move it. So I'm not sure if it's just any movement of a crane causes that, or if that's, you know, based on like some kind of a power thing or something. I don't know. I like that though. So let's test this guy out here. This is a really heavy tree, but I like to abuse physics, and that's just what we do. Come on, Ponce. No, too heavy. Whoa. All right, okay, so let's cut a chunk of this off and see what we can do here. I didn't buy a processor yet, but we'll try one of those out. So you get frame rate drops from those particles as well. Okay, so let's try that single piece by itself, see if we can pick that up. See, it's still rolling, little rolling things. I'm kind of, well, I don't know. I should be able to adjust the rolling friction and stuff, hopefully, on my maps when we get to that point. So let's try to pick this piece up. Oh, she's heavy. But you see what I mean? Like, I'm not even here. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna be nitpicky Jordan here, but this is what I'm talking about with the physics. So you see how I've got a grip, but the thing isn't even touching the damn log. Oh, that frustrates me. I don't like that. So two things are happening here. One, the collisions of the actual grapple. I'm gonna see if you can see it here. Oh, it's really hard to see. So if you can see this one chunk, which you may or may not be able to see, the collisions of the grapple aren't actually lined up with the physics of the grapple. Like, what you see, like, so this little chunk, see this line here that I'm tracing, is supposed to be over here. And that's something called delayed mesh, or what they call delayed mesh. So the physics that are happening underneath are not what you're actually seeing. Which makes it, when you visually see it, it looks stupid because you're not even grabbing the damn log. It looks like it's floating in the grapple. Like, there's actually, looking at it, there's no single contact point on that log. But yet it's in the grapple. So this is why when I implemented the static version, where I actually applied the physics to the visuals, it causes the grapple to kind of float off of the boom a bit, which makes it look a little weird. But every time you go to do a grab, you are always going to be seeing what you're actually grabbing, which is a big deal for me. And looks like we'll have to implement it again because it's still an issue, which is super unfortunate, but that's the way she goes. Anyway, so that's just my one nitpicky thing, and I don't know, it's the way she goes. So, and again, with all my criticism that I make about the game, you got to remember, and I always throw this as a slogan, if it wasn't for Giants, we wouldn't have any of this to begin with. So, although little things like this bother me, I'll make them better ourselves, and we won't have to worry about it. So let's load this guy up here. Oh, that's supposed to be open. Oh, there we go. Just got a little bit of a delay on the opening. Oh, we gotta drive ahead here a bit. Oh, how's the locking straps? Oh, they make a sound when you lock now. That's kind of cool. Now, are the physics dead when you lock it? Let's find out. Okay, the physics are live. Physics are live. No. So that'll probably be a multiplayer issue. I like that it makes a ticky sound. That's kind of cool. So then you know it's strapped. All right, so let's cut this. I was gonna try a processor out in this game, but honestly, because the way I do my processors, I don't think I'm gonna like it. So I might just ignore it and wait till I build my own. At the time of recording this, which is today, which is getting released today, It's the most recent video. The saw keeps cutting out. That's amazing. The giant setter is not actually out yet. Apparently it's coming soon, probably within this week, I imagine, maybe next week. So they're probably like, you have to play with our mods for at least, or that you have to play with our in-game equipment for at least a little bit before you completely throw them all out the window. Okay, so let's pick up some more here. You know what I really want to test is doing a little bit of piling. Oops, I don't have my control set for driving forward. Okay, so let's grab a couple of these. Now, granted, it does hang on to it. It just looks a little silly, that's all. Okay. Ooh. My, for some reason, my telescoper is telescoping out, man. I don't have that control set. What is it? Let's go into our controls and take a look. Because I didn't set that one. Okay, gamepad. Woo! Telescoping head is what I'm looking for. Which is probably... Ooh. Retract, extend crane arm. I'm going to do this. I'm also going to do accelerate and brake. There we go. Let's try that. Then I should be able to crawl forward here. That's what I thought. Alright. My machine's got some jitters happening here, son. So that loaded alright. Now, granted, these are probably pretty extremely heavy logs as well, so... Ooh. It's like my first day logging. Alright. So they probably settle a little nicer. I would like to get to kind of the lighter ones to see how they balance and rotate around. We're kind of getting a little ways away here. Maybe we should pull up. We'll load on an angle, see how it goes here too. Maybe we should not load that way, because that's not how you'd do it. We'll wrap around the other way so that our actual... Hey, if you run over trees, does it get rid of them though? No. I hate how it doesn't, like, they needed to implement dirty tire tracks. So I'm driving through this stuff, it should at least crush the ground a bit, but it doesn't. Wait. Do I have to turn on crop destruction? Is that a thing in this one? Wasn't there crop destruction? Oh, it's on. Okay. Weeds on. Because I thought there was a... Because in 19 even, I thought you could run over that stuff. I thought. And it would, like, pat it down. So how are the logs settling in there? Let's see. That's another thing I watch for is creep, like the log creep. Well, that's what I deemed it called. So, like, sometimes the logs, when you had them all stacked together, they would freak out a little bit, I guess would be the way I'd say it. Oh, see, there's that sliding. So that hasn't been fixed. See how the logs slid down? That's another thing we've got to watch. Well, hopefully when I get map editing here. Oh, yeah, the hydraulics still do that wacky, switchy, backy, forthy thingy. Watch the hydraulics hoses on this head. Cool, hey? It's almost like it's not supposed to go 360 degrees or something. So watch. Flick! Just a little oversight. No worries. It's cool. It's cool. Don't worry about it, bro. I'm being nitpicky. Come on, as a modder, I mean, my mods are not perfect either, so. Of course, I probably didn't make as many $1 million either. Anyway. So like I said, I'm just kind of grabbing these little bits. I just want to see how they all react. They seem to be settling quite nice, these trees. I would love to see if they've added a new kind of physics layers. But you see how they kind of jitter still? See, that's what I watch for. I think the physics are pretty much identical. So if I move the cab a little bit, I just want to see what they do. Oh, again, look at the gap on that one. Oh, you suck. Oh, that's not good. So that tree's going to be no good. I won't want to use that in any maps. Look at that. Look at that spacing. Good God. Okay, that I'm going to be judgmental about that one. Look at that. So there's the actual log, like the visual. There's where you actually make contact with. Like that piece over there. What the hell? That sucks. That's worse than the last game. And it could just be this tree type, so maybe we'll just never use this tree type, but... Ugh, that's frustrating. I don't like that. That makes me sad. So that one I'm gonna be hard judgmental on that one. I think that's pretty crappy. Any trees that have a bend to them, I'll never put on my maps ever again. Ever. So like even this one's got a crook. Well, obviously it's toast. Like look at this. See that? So there's the crook, what you see, but that's what you're actually grabbing is this long chunk. So when I go to pick that up, my claw will probably go right through that and it'll just grab onto this invisible space here. Frustrating. Yeah, that looks terrible. Look, it's not even on the tree. Holy. Judging hard, but that's an upsetter to me. Anyway, moving on. We'll never use those trees, so. This is all the fun stuff that I look at because I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to making sure the functionality is there. So again, look, we're grabbing the tree, but we're not actually grabbing the tree because there's like a 30-foot berm of physics that we're actually grabbing because it's so far off. There's a good visual. So you can see the orange part is what's actually grabbable. So you can see like it's sticking away. Anyway, I'm not going to beat that subject to death, but that's kind of I don't like that. So again, still sliding issue. See how it slides downhill? Because the ground has no friction apparently. How dare you, tree? How dare you? That's crazy. All right. Okay. You know what? I've tested this enough. Okay, so let's go down. I'm gonna unload this stuff and just stack it. I just want to see how it stacks. That'll be one. It's staying in there pretty well though. I noticed. Like they're not slipping out of the carriage. Now there could be a box that holds them in place too. I don't know. Like a dynamic thing. Let's really do a stress test here. So let's see here. Wow, somebody's a jerk driver. Okay, so let's, oh god. Oh, we're in a situation now. Well, if it wasn't for you, buddy, then we wouldn't have had this problem, you know that? Oh, we're working on it. This is where I need that heavy lift mod to pull me out of here. Oh, we drove through it, I guess, kind of. Alright. So let's do a stress test. I just want to run into something here. So let's just keep going straight. We'll hit this tree, actually. This will be alright. Let's see what happens to these logs when we hit this tree. That wasn't too bad. Okay, now let's back into this tree. Let's see how this goes. Boof. Again, not terrible. This is just some judgment physics tests. So let's unload these. Let's see if we can do 2 at a time. God forbid. Sorta. Yeah, it's not terrible. Not great, not terrible. Okay, so what I want to do is I just want to stack them on top of each other and see how they balance. Again, these are really big, heavy logs, so I'm expecting them to settle quite nicely. The real test would be if you have a whole bunch of like skinny ones. And then I would love to do like a stress test. Well, we're gonna do that. So this coming weekend, our logging crew is gonna hit this game up, and I don't know what map we're gonna do, but we're gonna try. Oh my God, that's ridiculous! I didn't even pick those up. We're gonna try to stress test the multiplayer to see how much abuse it can take. So we'll get a whole bunch of guys with chainsaws and a couple Ponzi's and see what happens. Obviously, we don't have any mods out for this game yet, so we're just kind of playing it by ear until we get some modding tools. Then we'll create some bunchers and some proper processors, and we'll really wreck this game proper. Alright. Wow. Isn't it like graphical? I don't know if you guys can hear that, or maybe it's just on my end. No, I'm sure you can hear it in the video. But I keep getting these like graphical hits, like it sounds like in the audio. It's really weird. I thought it was just my game, or my computer, but I think it's the game. So again, these are settling quite nice. I think it's actually a sound effect in the engine, maybe? Let's listen for it. Or maybe, oh, do these trees make sounds when you drop them? Is that what I'm hearing? So if I drop this. No. It made a sound when it hit it though, right? I was seeing if they had... No, they don't have sounds. Alright, I was just testing. I'm just hearing these little graphical weird sounds, but I don't know what that's all about. So, they settle not too bad, but again, this is what I'm talking about. You see how it looks like it's floating in the air? So I'll never use these types of trees because of that issue alone. Oh, I noticed there's a wood in the bottom right-hand corner. I just noticed that. I didn't even notice that before. It's telling me what type of wood this is. It's telling me what length it is and its mass, which is kind of cool, actually. So that's kind of neat. I like that. Huh. All right. So I'm just going to tab to some of the other machines. So this guy's pretty cool. I actually really like this. Now, the reason I spawned this snowplow is because I was looking at these tracks, because I kind of want to steal its tracks. I know those aren't really proper tracks. These are the kind of tracks that I want, but I don't know if I'll be able to manipulate these to make them work on my machine. Oh, those are really nice tracks. Maybe. It might be able to. I don't know. The thing is, I don't have risers on my one machine, so anyway, we'll worry about that when we get there. We might have to use these kind of weird-looking tracks to get things started. So, this guy... It's kind of a neat looking little toy. It's actually not too slow either. I actually really like this thing. This is the only thing I really like about the new game. Like as far as equipment goes. So let's go drive this over to our little spot. I like the little chains on the back. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Let's look at this guy. Let's look at it at a physics level. Pretty basic. 4 tires. Oh, it doesn't have proper tires for tracks. So if I, oops, driving into things here. If I drive over a berm, I can get it high-centered, I think. That's kind of why on my machines I had so many dang tires, because I didn't really want it to be able to get high-centered. So, like, for example, maybe I can run over this brick thing here. So there's a tire on the front, which is letting me go up. But see how I can see? See, that's what I didn't want to be able to do. So that's because they only have 4 actual tires. So you see one on the back. I think it's 4. Yeah, one on the back, one on the back. So it's only 4 tires. So on my machines, I added, I think there's 10 tires, or 10 per side, 20 tires altogether. So that when you drive over something in the middle, you can't have that kind of collapse in the middle so that you're driving through the track. Because I don't like that at all. So just one more thing that we'll implement in our machines when we get there. Again, these are just little things. Now, I'm really excited to play with this thing because it's got like a sick mulching head on it. Can we just like murder up the street here? How do I, can I lower this? J-N. Oh, V probably to lower it a bit. No? Where's my little menu? Change control, select camera, turn off forestry. Oh, if you hit G, it toggles between it. V, there you go. And I'm guessing I can't do anything to anything because it's not my property. Do I have to allow... Did they get rid of that allow create field crap, I wonder? Because I hated that. I hate that I had to hit Y to allow it to create fields or whatever. Honestly, on this head, though, if I can incorporate this head with the buncher, oh, buddy, we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some real fun. So we're going to do 2 things that I want to test real quick. One, I want to test it on land that I own to see, because the videos I saw, it looked pretty cool how it ate up the land. And 2, I want to see what it does to a standing tree. And 3, I want to see what it does to a tree that is not standing. So we have a tree that isn't standing, and we have land. So let's see what happens. So we're on our land now. I don't see any new options come up. So if I just lower the head, does it grind the ground? Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, that looks really good. Yeah, see? Honestly, I'd probably even just continue to use this in-game one. Why even build my own? This is amazing. And apparently it wipes out stumps really well. Oh, missed that little bit, though. That's probably because it was cutting the stump, though. Yeah. Yeah, see, I like this. This is cool for, like, road making. You know what? I could use that bulldozer. I could bring that bulldozer back to life. And we could actually put that on the front of a dozer, too. So let's see what it does to this down tree here. Does it grind it up nice and chill-like? No, it doesn't even grind that up. So let's see here. Well, it kind of grinded it up a bit, just not, like, crazily. That's good. I don't really like the vacuum idea, so let's see if we can just slow grind this guy. Oh, look, it's creating cookies. So this uses a... Yeah, see, it's creating these little cookies. So this guy must be using the stump cutter. So I'm going to have some fun with that. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to look at it here. All right. So it's cutting it into little pieces. So, okay, so now we've tried it on a down tree. Oh, see, and it creates quite a bit of cookies. It's almost like they know what I did with the other grinder. All right, anyway, so let's take a little hooler here. Some things I do in these games, and I swear to God the developers actually look at things that I do, and they... I don't know. I just get these weird little moments of like, huh. So let's see what it does to a standing tree. Oh, can we knock down a standing tree? Whoa. Whoa, easy, bro. Not down. I can't knock down that one. Probably because the node's too far. Let's try another tree here. I'm getting a small one with a little baby tree. Let's try this one. Can we get it? Come on. Oh, there we go. We gotta raise that little dealio. I wonder if it can't hit standing trees. That or the cut node isn't long enough, which is possible. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it works. So this will be our buncher head. Now, listen. Yes. Okay, good. So that was something I wanted to test. My big fear, the reason I just got excited, my big fear was that the sound effect when you knocked it over would make a tree falling sound. Now, let's try it again before we get too excited. Because I was scared that when we went to use the buncher, it was going to make that sound. So let's see here. Let's try again. Different one. Oh, this tree might be too big. Yeah, probably. Just probably can't make contact with it. Okay, we need to find ourselves another little tree. There's a little tree down there. Let's go that way. It's like a pile of trees up here. How far outside of our little zone are we, though? Oh, we got lots of room. Okay, so let's go little cruise here. Yeah, okay, well, this is kind of exciting. You guys get to see all the developments of my future plans as we go here. So far, I'm not too concerned about anything, really. I mean, obviously, it's going to be very much the same kind of game. Oh, those trees look good over there. Those are the kind of trees that I'll probably use. Sorry, I'm going to run across the river here real quick. It's like, oh, look, a tree, ADD. Little river. Yeah, so these look a little straighter. Can I cut these down? No. Oh, maybe not, though. No, maybe not. I was trying to find one that's, like, perfectly straight. See, it's got crooks in it. I mean, I realize trees have crooks in it. That's life, but I'm trying to find straight ones. These ones are fairly... Nope, they're even crooked. They must have a straight tree in this game somewhere. Whatever. Once I get map editing and stuff, I'll be ripping all these trees out and playing with them all and figuring out the way we want to work. Alright, so let's knock down this little tree. I really like this mulcher. This guy's pretty cool, man. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. Oops. Helps if you line it up. I didn't hear a tree fall down. I think we're good. Because I'll be using this exact script. Nice. Yep, so this is the script we'll be using on our buncher. Beautiful. Again, it still makes kind of wacky looking ends and stuff, but that's not a big deal. Let's see if we can finish eating this guy up here. Man, this is basically the buncher script all in one. I like it. I do like the eating up the ground thing. Yeah, this will be fun. So then when you're actually doing your buncher stuff, it'll be leaving a big mark behind too. Oh, that track mud there is pretty cool too. So let's drive off of that and see if it cleans the tracks up real nice. Not really, they're pretty muddy. Oh, it cleans it up a bit, I think. Sweet. So I got a feeling this guy will be... Oh, we're killing some poor crop here now. I got a feeling this guy will be used quite often here. So you got like stones and stuff in the field. The ground looks a little bit better, but it's not like anything to write home about. I don't know. I don't think it's like intensely different than the last game. Apparently there's like parallax mapping to make it pop out of the ground a little bit, but I don't know. It doesn't really appear to be too cray-cray. I think we'll experience a lot of the same issues as the last game, but I also think we'll hopefully get some new good stuff happening too. It's going to be an adventure. Yeah, other than that, that's really the only stuff I really wanted to go over before we get into the heavy modding, so maybe I'll just leave it at that. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them in the video for sure, but I don't know. I think it'll be all right. It'll be kind of like the last game with some new stuff, hopefully. And like I said, hopefully I get into the production chains and all that other stuff too, because I'd love to check that out. Maybe find some more stuff. But there's going to be some wacky mods and things coming out over the next little bit, so everybody hang in there and just wait, because things will get interesting as always. All right, guys, we'll let you go. Thanks for watching this quick preview of the new FS22. All right, we'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.